This video is for my December and trade histories for the whole of 2025. Okay, though I'm now recording it on 6th January. On the month of December, I had an 11% interest from a $16.64 account to $18.51. So it was just $1.87 profit. And the account is still small, but it shall increase as I will be increasing my back test, and also I shall do an optimal F model later when it reaches 400 with about $300. So it should reach about $10,000 end of July to September. For the CFDs, I only had one trade for December, and I had a total of 3 trades for December, 2 binary options and 1 CFD trade. So this is for the past 3 months, okay, 6 October to 6 January. And if you log in to the account using my investor password, you will be able to also see this performance. So for December, it's just $2.03 minus that commission, which you should subtract on your own. And then remember that for my trading, the balances, the deposits and withdrawals aren't really making sense, because I will be making multiple transfers from MT5 accounts here to DTrader when looking for trade setups on binary options. I would like to look for the sentiment when actually using real money, so that maybe the broker's system may see as if there's actual money in the account. So that was for the BVI FSC account. Then for the DerivVU account, if you go to the trade history, there was no trade for December 1 to 31 December there. Even for the past 3 months, there wasn't any trades. And remember, you can watch the other videos if you want to see in detail how you log into my accounts for those still new to trading. But if you download MetaTrader 5 application, not for Android devices, you press that plus sign on the top right corner of your screen. Or if you're using Apple devices, just check where it will be. And then for those using desktop, just look on MetaTrader how to log in MT5 accounts. You can find some videos there. Then if you type Deriv on the broker, you won't use this one. That's an unregulated account. It's from Deriv. Then we use BVI FSC and Vanuatu account, and then also FX, but that's a low leverage 1:100 Forex account. My account can't trade that now. So even on the account information for those still new, you can actually see that it will be regulated, although it is still tier 4 regulation, which is still weak. But I will use better brokers next year. At least Deriv gives me the benefit of trading very small accounts plus the synthetic indices, which have their own advantages. So you select you put in the login ID of the account, the password, make sure the server name is correct, and then log in the account. So you won't be able to place any trades if you log in with my investor password, but you will be able to see my trade histories. And Deriv only shows those trades for CFDs only of the past 3 months. So I will show you my broker statements, which the customer care agent sent me through email for you to see trades beyond 3 months. So you will use that password investor258, and then this will be the account type, login ID, actual server name. Then for the demo account, I only gave you so new traders can see the difference between a demo and a real account. Those demo accounts will have those green badges there. So for 2025, this basically is my performance. Where for the binary options, remember the strategy, I started to trade it earlier. So I developed it earlier to consistent profitability, unlike the CFD strategy. So on 14 months, it had 64% win rate from November 2024 to present. And then for CFDs, for the first 4 months of this year, it was more of break even, but with a small loss. And that's because the sentiment that I had blindly used to try and compensate for difference between back tests, which are just past price and future price, the sentiment wasn't strong enough to maintain consistent profitability for momentum strategies, although it does work for order-based strategies like turtle soup, like also another order-based strategy which is on my March 2023 trade history on my YouTube or TikTok channel. So for the first 4 months of this year, it wasn't well, but it's then when I then saw that there was a problem, then I reviewed my trades, and then I then increased to use the sentiment which is stronger, and now I had fewer trades but which were more effective. So it's now from then where you can then see that from May now to December, I now had a 61% win rate on 21 trades only on CFDs. And then from July to present, remember I told you that I added another strong sentiment to my trading. So you can actually then see that now from July to December on my CFD trades, the win rate improved, and I now had a 62% win rate, although still just on 8 trades. For the binary options, it did not improve the win rate from that of the 14 months, but that's just because it's still a small sample of trades. But I will be increasing trades with each month as I'm still doing more back tests. Then that sentiment which I introduced in July, from October now to present, I now use it on many time frames. So you can now see that also on my CFDs for October to December, now there's an 80% win rate only on 5 trades with 41% interest and 11% maximum drawdown. Then if I combine the CFDs and binary options for October to present, it's now 70% win rate on 10 trades with a 40% interest from $13.21 with an 11% maximum drawdown. And remember that I had the $13 from beginning of October because I had done about two $10 withdrawals for my data cost. It wasn't because the account was dropping with a loss. So you can later analyze the results, and I'll show you my broker statement soon. So for CFDs, I'm now trading with 1:1 risk reward. Then for binary options on synthetic indices, it's a slightly negative risk reward of 0.95, but for those binary options of financial instruments, they will be about 0.82 to 0.85, and I shall be opening them maybe from February onwards. That's when I will start to have financial instrument trades. So for my monthly statement for December, for the FX account, this is the Lebon FSA 1:100 leverage account, there's no trades there. And then remember, there's no Venueto. Venueto does not regulate the actual trading, it only regulates more of the basic overall operations of the company. But for BVI FSC, it was just one trade. So for those still new to trading, it looks as if it's two trades, but it's just the opening and the closing of the trade, which you saw in the Deriv MT5 with a $2 profit, where you have to subtract that 8 cents profit. So I'll come back to actually what I can even do. Okay, I'll download these statements for CFDs. That one is for binary options. I won't download them because I'm going to go into the D trader and actually log in the account. So I requested someone from support to send me the statements for CFDs for the whole of 2025, and I will open them soon. I just want to download them all right now and then start by going to the D trader so I show you my binary option trade histories. So they are the ones with the longest profitable trade history, the binary options, because I started trading them earlier than the CFDs. Although for CFDs now, for the last 8 months of 2025, I was now profitable after reviewing the trade. So it's only the Venueto account I'm using. This one I'm not using. There's no funds. The STP account, it needs high capital. Then also the BVI FSC. The others don't have funds. So that's the portfolio, $18.51. Now I'm going to the binary options. And I had already showed you the trade histories for binary options on the previous months. So if I go to the closed trades, that's where it will be 64% win rate on 14 trades. Although you will see here it written 17 contracts, but that's only because 3 of the trades were those which I told you that one of them were 2 positions which I opened for one trade, because I had opened the first one with a smaller risk amount than I should have. Then I opened another position with more capital, the trade for 3 December. And then the other 2 trades you should ignore are those which I told you in the previous trade histories, like this one, where I had a 1 cent loss instead of $2.40, which I put at risk because I had opened the trade without the sentiment for binary options, which I showed you. So I closed the trade soon after. Then these ones for 3 December, the ones which were one trade which I opened with a smaller amount, and then later on saw that I should add another position. Then that's the other 3rd trade which I had opened with a missing sentiment and closed it earlier. So $6.74 profit, and then it should actually be 14 contracts which I left to play. So I downloaded those statements and I'm now going to show you the statements which you can later fully analyze on your own, because I don't want this video to fail to upload on TikTok since it has a 15-minute limit. And you can then later see and compare with the performance of what I had on that document which I showed you earlier with my performance for 2025. So I'm now exiting these versions of the documents earlier, because these ones are the ones which I downloaded when I was doing a live stream on YouTube. So if you want a more transparent trade history, you can go on my YouTube channel and see the one there where I was downloading the videos on a live session. So I'm now going to these ones. Okay, which I recently downloaded with a 4 at the end. And here you can see I downloaded these 3 to 4 minutes ago. These ones are the ones I downloaded about an hour ago when doing my YouTube live stream. So this will be the BVI FSC account, and the guy included those of 2024, but I had told him to only include those of 2025. He made a mistake there. So you can ignore those of 2024 because then I was using a more than 1:1 risk reward and I wasn't having that much of a good performance. But now I only trade with 1:1. So here these are the dates and then the profits of the trades. Okay, let me zoom in a bit again. Profits of the trades, excuse me, are those ones. Then you subtract these commissions on all the profits of each of the trades. So you can take a screenshot and then later on analyze them. You will have to ignore these ones at the bottom. These are now more of the fields where each transaction may be written twice. It won't have a summary of the trades. And the BVI FSC account, you will see generally has fewer trades than of the VU-Server account because it has smaller minimum lot sizes. You need a slightly bigger account to open trades, and that's why it had a better performance because it has trades of stronger sentiment which have a bigger stop loss. Now this is of the VU-Server account. This one is not a commission based account, so on the profits you won't need to subtract any commissions, and you see that it has more trades than the BVI FSC account because you can trade it even with a smaller account. It has lower margin requirements, and that's because when you get profitable on the financial instruments, Deriv will not forward your trades to the liquidity provider. So you can try to zoom in the trades. Remember the dates will be there, the profits there, and the lower section doesn't matter here. These are more of just the fields. And you see that for the VU-Server account, it has more trades, and most of those trades are from the first 4 months of this year, where I was opening those trades with a sentiment not strong enough to maintain consistent profitability for momentum-based strategies. But once I introduced it, you can now see that from May, after that, there was now a smaller number of trades, and you see that, excuse me, there will be now better performance when you compare with the profits. So you can take screenshots of those statements, and then you can then see that that's how I ended up with this performance. I will have verified broker statements maybe end of this year latest, after I raise my account to about $10,000, but I'll try to raise it to about 10K, maybe around end of July to end of maybe about September. I'll do an optimal F trading model later when it reaches $400, using about 300 of it.